I guess most of you have heard what is GitHub. Like many people will be talking about it, and many people ask in a resume if you know GitHub or not. And even in job, if you properly see in job descriptions, they ask if you know GitHub or not. So like, what is GitHub and why is it very important to learn? As like not only CSA, it is required for even EC, Triple E, like all other branches too. So what is today's agenda? Today's agenda, like I'll tell you what is Git and GitHub. I'll tell you how to install Git. I'll tell you how to create a SSH key to your laptop and how to connect it to the GitHub account, and like how to create a GitHub account, how to create a repository, and all the like basic commands which are like basically required for pushing and pulling your code from the GitHub. So like this session is very basic in nature. We can go very deep, but I'm just keeping it. What basically Git does is it tracks the file of the developer and the programmers, like of the programmers. It just basically tracks the files. So every time you put a Git commit, it takes a screenshot of the file at that point of time. So this Git is a software which is installed in your computer, and Git is only used for tracking your files. This is a basic point. And then we continue to what is GitHub. So what Git does is it just tracks your files, but you cannot see the file if you want to see the file. Suppose like I have written 10 lines of code and I have committed it. And after some time, like around 10 days, I have completely changed the code. Suppose like the first was version 1 and now it is version 2. So if I want to view the version 1, if in a Git, I cannot view the version 1. So this is where the GitHub comes. So GitHub is a software. It is just like a web hub, GitHub. So all when you Git is committed and all the code is pushed to the GitHub, the code is stored in a GitHub, like in a server file. So whenever you open Google and use GitHub.com, enter your email ID and password, you can see all your projects, like all the projects you have ever done. Let's take the previous example, like what I told about me and Aniket. So what I can do now is I can I can use Git Bash, commit my code, push it into the GitHub, and directly send the GitHub link to Aniket. At this point, Aniket can directly open the link and see the code at that point of time. So this is where GitHub comes. You can like see the difference, so that you can easily understand what is the difference. So what is a Git? Git is like only a software which is installed in your computer. And what is GitHub? It is a service, like you can log in everywhere and you can use it. Git is a command line tool, like we use CMD. Git is like a Git Bash is a command line tool, and GitHub is a user interface. Like we use Facebook, we use Instagram. Like similarly, GitHub is a user interface, and it is installed in your system. And GitHub is it is available everywhere on internet. You can just put in your credentials and view the files. And GitHub, it focuses on code sharing and version control. What Git does is it takes screenshot of the code, like the present code of screenshot, and it maintains the version control, like version 1, version 1.1, version 1.2. So every time you commit, it creates a new version of the code. And GitHub is the code you committed, the versions you have created. It is all hosted in a like centralized web server. That is GitHub. So yeah, version control helps us to manage the history. Like if you have now if you're running a 12th version code and we have to like I want to check some code which I wrote on 11th version, which I need to verify it. So we can directly go to 11th version of the code and we can verify the code. And GitHub is basically GitHub goes and with GitHub we can host the code with the help of repositories. Like you can write the word repositories. Repository basically means hosting a part of the code, like hosting a part. That's what basically repository means. So yeah, this is the most important thing you have to learn. I mean, you have to basically know. Like you have to know how Git works. Suppose I created a hello world.txt. So you see, it is a new file. Like it is like literally created now. It is a new file. So what I write some part of the code like hello hash include or like print hello world. So it's like this is a Python program. So I'll change the extension to .py. So this is an untracked file. So you see here, you can see the definition. You create a brand new file in your project. This file is now an untracked state. So any file that you have created, that is an untracked file. Any new file, that is an untracked file. So now you have written your part of the code. Now what you have to do is you have to stage it. So what stage basically mean is, see, now you are in a working directory, and when you use a like git command called git add dot, so it uh, the untracked file is now tracking. Staging area basically means tracking. I mean, the git starts tracking your files. Like every time, even if you even if you give it a space, it is tracked. Even if you put a single dot, it gives you the differences between the previous file and the present file. So that is basically staging area. Even like the untracked file is tracking now. So after the file is tracked, so suppose you see it keeps tracking, and at a point you complete writing a version of code. I mean, like you are like, this part of code is completed. Now we can push it. So when you put git commit with some message like this is my first file, git commit, this is my first file. So what it git does is it takes a screenshot of the current code. So basically a snapshot. What it does is it takes a snapshot of the current code and puts in a local repository. So you see, we created a new file. We started writing our code, and then we started tracking it. So like Git tracks every line of code, every word of code. Even if you put a full stop, it starts tracking. And after you completed a part of code, then when you put git commit, it does is it takes a snapshot of the current file and saves locally. Locally means on your computer, it saves the file. And then when you push the file from your computer, it pushes the snapshot of the code to the server. It is GitHub. So you see, this all locally managed files are using Git, and this part is GitHub, where it stores all the files. So if you want to say, you can like go with the definition. When you execute command -m, file name like at this part you can write. Suppose you like this part is a comment part. So you have to basically write what you want to tell, like what you did in this part. So if I tell, even I can write first comment. First comment is when I started tracking my all the files. Then you can write, suppose if I'm working on a web development project, so you can write navigation bar added, or then you can write photos added. So basically you have to write what you did on that snapshot, and then what is modified. So suppose I wrote my code, after 10 days, we have to add a new feature, or maybe I have to change the button style. Maybe I have to add some text. Maybe I have to add new photos. Like, because in web development, it is not a constant process. We have to like completely like we have to keep evolving make it dynamic, or else like something happened to like your web page crashed. So like you have to change some part of the code. So that part is a modified part. So when you after like anything written after committed, that part is known as modified part. So basically, your code is modified. So after your page is modified, you have to again take it to the staging area, then again push it to the commit. Okay, I'll show you it in a practical way. So maybe like this is I'll start comparing the code. I'll start comparing the code and I'll show you like just a 5 minutes of time. So you can go to Google, you can press Git. It will take you to this screen. Like if you have any notes, you can like write it down. I'll just start installing and tell you. So then go here, download your Git file. Like it will take some time. So like I already installed it. You see here, Git is here. Git is available. Like I downloaded it. Right, let's install it. So basically, it is just like next, and then like because I already created it, it is asking me like if you want to install it in the old folder, like existing folder. Yes. Then don't change any settings here. Then next, then like we can because you don't know much about it, I would like recommend it to keep the same. Then you can go next, let the Git decide everything. Then get from the command line also from third party author. Use the OpenSSL file. Then check out yes. Then use MNYT yes. And default yes. Then basically just click next. Don't change anything because all those are advanced level. So I would basically recommend don't change anything. So when you install Git, you can see here, you can see Git has two parts. One is Git Bash and one is Git GUI. Let's just don't use your mind. Like I'll not use my mind. I'll just click what is it. We'll get Git Bash here and Git GUI here. So you see these two, like Git Bash is a command line. We have to give commands to it. In Git Bash, we have to give commands. In Git GUI, it is like it has an interface. You see, this is like a Linux, like you have the git commands, and the left side you see GUIs. It has an interface. Like since we have not created a repository, we can create a repository. But I do basically I would recommend you to use Git Bash because it is easier to use than Git GUI. Git GUI, like it's kind of complicated. It looks easy, but it's kind of complicated. So I will recommend you to use Git Bash, which I like explain you now. So you have install your Git Bash, and the next thing you have to do is you have to create an SSH key. So I'll tell you like what is an SSH key. If you like basically know networking and stuff, so SSH key is like an authentication. What it does is it authenticates key. Yes, this is a computer. You should be sending files from to the host from my laptop to the server. It authenticates the network between us. It is like a key from my laptop to the server. Like if you like, you can directly go to Git SSH key. It will show you. You can go to the documentation. I would recommend you to go to the documentation rather than going to YouTube. If you're like unable to follow the documentation, then you can like take help with the Google. And yeah, so let's first create a GitHub. Like see, what you need is this is a command SSH key gen -t ed 225519c your email ID. Now here you have to enter your GitHub email ID. If you're already using GitHub, then you can enter your email ID. If you're not, I'll show you how to create a GitHub account. So it is basically like every account you create, like Instagram, GitHub, Instagram, Facebook. You just have to log out it. You have to go like sign in, sign up, create a new account. You have to enter your your username, your email ID, your password, and your account is created. So like currently I'm using my CSC account, CSC product account, like I created it. So we'll sign it. So you see, this is GitHub. Yeah. So this is GitHub. Now you can see all your projects here. Like this is the first project. Like if you remember, in web dev, we created a web development project. So this is the project. You can see all your files here. Like just go and see style files. Yeah, like these are the files we created while creating a CSS account. And this is the HTML file, HTML code we created. Yeah. And then images, like these are the images we use. So you see, we can store all our code here rather than storing it on our device, like on a laptop. Maybe sometimes your HDD may be crashed. Like we can't guarantee. Sometimes it may be break. Like maybe your laptop broken. It may be like so. Basically, all your projects can be stored here, which will be helpful to us. So yeah. So like forget about this. This will be your basic landing page. When you create an account, this will be your basic landing page. Then you have to go to your settings. Like I'll go slow right now. So if you want to write it down, you have to go to settings. Then if you go down here, you'll see SSH key and GPG key. You can click here. So you see, I created an already SSH key. I'll currently delete it. No, I'll create a new SSH key. Go to SSH key. Then you go to new SSH key. Then I'll keep it as code hub. So let's start. Then since your account is created, we can create our SSH key right now. So enter your email ID, from which you have created your account. So like this is my Gmail ID. Well, and it will ask you to enter in which file you want to save your key. Just press enter. Like it will show what you have to do. See, it is telling when prompted to enter a file, press enter to accept a default location. Like just accept a default location. Because I have already like previously created a key, so it is asking me if you want to override it. I'll press yes and enter. You have to enter like basically enter a password. So you can enter anything else. I'll enter my Gmail ID. I mean the ID which we created, csccodehub@gmail.com. Enter. You cannot see the passphrase because you can't see the passphrase. So you have to enter the same password again. csccodehub@gmail.com. Don't enter CSC code up. Enter your email ID. So you see, an SSH key is created to our ID. So this is what we require, this key. And let's continue. And after this, we have to create. Okay, this will be better. So after this, you see at the prompt, and we have done this section. After that, you have to create an SSH agent. So like that is your code, like a code to your laptop. So let's start doing this. Eval SSH, copy it, then shift. See, we have created our PID. This is a PID which is used as a key to our, an ID to our laptop or like a system. And after creating it, add your SSH private key to the SSH agent. So like this key and this ID are connected. So you can like just go here, copy this, copy, so insert, enter. So now you have to enter the passphrase which we have entered here. Like before creating it, we have entered here something. So enter it again. Enter. Identity added. So basically we have created our identity. So just do it here. And after that, we have to add our ID to a GitHub account. Add a new SSH key to our GitHub account. You have to click on that link. It will take you, it will take you here. Copy the SSH public link to your keyboard. For copying it, you just need to copy this thing. Copy and then insert it here, enter. So we have the key now. So like if you want to see the key, I'll just show it here. Text document key, enter. So you see, we got our key. We got our SSH key. And now we have to add our key to our this thing. We have to add key to our account. Yeah. So you can go here, add SSH key, add a new SSH key, put the key here, and like you can use your title as anything. Then add your SSH key. So see, now your laptop and your GitHub account are connected. So you can basically do everything from documentation. I would request you to read the documentation properly. If you're unable to like create key or have any problem, you can contact me or like anyone. You can save the key for the use, or you can just insert a command and get the key. So basically, we have created our GitHub account. We have installed Git on our PC, and like we have basically know like what is Git and GitHub. Now I'll show you like what Git add, Git is, which we discussed while tracking the files. So, okay, I'll start it. So, yeah, let's just create a new folder. Create new folder. I'll call it as webdev. This is basically your project folder. Anything that is related to your project, you can put in it. Web development. Webdev 2. Webdev 2. Enter. So we need basically we need this thing. We'll write our HTML code here. HTML. I'll just copy the code, the previous code which we have done. So yeah, like you can see this is a code. I'll copy the whole code and put it in this. So I'll say this. Let's just so from now on, you can add your files and start committing it. So first thing is, if you want to know like your folder has a Git repository or not, first thing is Git init. No, Git status. STATUS. So you're saying Git not a Git repository or a parent factors of Git. So basically it is telling this file does not have a Git repository, so we cannot track this file. So then we have to use a Git initialize. We have to initialize a Git init. You see, initialize empty Git repository and your folder location. If you see here, like Git has a hidden file. So I'll show it afterwards. So you see Git Lenovo webdev2.git file. This .git file is created in your folder. which which tracks your file. You can write this commands if you have a notebook. So it will basically help you to easily understand the code. So yeah, like I'll show you what git clone is to. Let's just like continue with this. So you see, we have first it was a new file, so we just check the status. It was a not a git repository. Then we have initialized the git repository. Now we'll see we'll see what does git status do. Git stl. So you see, it is telling you have a file in webdev.1 and we are not tracking it. See, untrack the files. It is telling basically we have a file, but we are not tracking it. So if you want to add it, if you want to track files, you have to use git add. You see, use git add to track the file. Let's just do it. Git add. Enter. Okay, git add dot. Git add dot. Let's just see what does git status tell. It basically git status tells you everything. If the git is initialized, if we are what files are you tracking, what files you have committed, it tells you everything. Let's just see git status now. See, it is telling we see new file and we are tracking it. New file and we are tracking it. Let's okay. See, now it is tracking. No war. I'll change. We'll do git commit. We'll do git commit -m. This is my first git. This is my first git. You see, what it has done is it has taken a screenshot of this code. Open with Notepad. You see all this code, and now it has taken a screenshot of like a snapshot of all the code. Now let's change something. I don't like this username part. I'll take it as only name. I like it only name. And then what else? I'll write a one more heading like h1. H1. This is a GitHub session. See, like I know made some changes here. I'll save the file. I'll save the file. Let's just view it. So yeah, like the changes have been made. The changes have been made. And let's just see now what git does. You see, we have committed it. See, we have committed it. Now what I'll do git status. See, it is telling the file has been modified. It's literally telling the changes you have done. You have done some changes. Now you have to again commit it, and it is not staged for committing. So again, we have to add file. Git add. See, now we have only one file. If you want to add a specific file, we can just copy the file name, copy, shift, insert, enter. Like because we have here only one file, let's just create another file too. Okay. Let's just create 10 more files. Git hash. Let's just create Microsoft account. Aniket. Like currently, I'm using my sister's laptop because I cannot change my SSD. So I basically can't use most of the software things, but I'll try. I'll go back to my laptop and I'll tell you everything again. So rename it to new file. Create one more thing. New file to. So yeah, let's see now. Git status. So it's telling you have modified this. Okay, but see, it is tracking now, and all these files, it is not tracking it. It is tracking only web1.html. It is not tracking Aniket doc, all these files. Now I want to let's insert something here. This is file name. It has all the CSS code for web dev. So let's just assume it has all the CSS code for web development. And in file one, I want to write there. We'll save it. So let's see again. What does it do? Get see when you like when I was showing you HTML1, first we tracked it. I mean, it was unstaged. It was it was basically not tracking the file. Then we started tracking it. we used GitHub git add, and we started tracking the file, and then we committed the file, and then we committed this file, and afterwards, what we did, we changed webdriver.html. Again, then we use git status. Then it told, see, you have modified html.file. Do you want to commit or add? It is asking us. Then see, then I created some more files, but I created new files, and then I changed it. I wrote some code. It is still telling you have, because we are not tracking it. It doesn't know. Like even if you change 100 lines of code, it won't tell anything basically. Let's just add files now. It's a git status. Yeah, okay. Now we are tracking the Aniket file. I mean, now it is in a staging mode. So it is in a staging mode. We'll look at comment message. This is my third commit. Now we can see get status. Yeah, okay. Done. Now, well, let's try to push the code to our CodeHub account. Let's push our code to the GitHub account. Where's my account? You see, GitHub. Now you see, I'll tell you what a repository is. Repository. We'll create a new repository. You can see here, it is telling new repository. Give a repository, give a name to your repository, web there, and you can give some description. This is my the project. And okay, so basically I press the enter, so it already created the account. It created the repository. Let's just see. You see, we have a repository section here. So repository is basically you can create a division of the code. I mean, you can create your separate folder for a separate code, separate part of the code. We'll use this part. And like it tells you, if you have an existing repository, you can push the code directly. We'll basically copy this part. See, you can only push code after you commit. You can only push code after you have committed this. And after committed, then only you can push your code. Let's just copy it again. Copy. Shift insert. You see, this is you can see the account. You can see the code. Get remote add origin. It is basically telling get remote because of PC. It is telling to add an origin. That is your GitHub account and your repository name. And then I'll press enter. A link between your Git and your GitHub has been created. Now you can do is push the code. Git push master origin. See, Git is best, like you can analyze the code. Git push. Push means pushing the code to the server, and master is the branch name. Like if you see, you can see a master. Master is a local repository name. Git push master origin. Origin is your GitHub name. I'll push the code. Okay. Git push origin master. Okay, yeah, I guess this. Okay. So push origin. Yeah, origin and MST. Yeah. Okay, I was like the code was wrong. So git push push the master code to the origin. So you can see that all the code has been pushed to your GitHub account. So you see, like when you create an account, this is how your repository looks. You can see it is telling how to create a repository, how to push a repository, how to create a branch, and how to push the code. Now, because I pushed the code, when I do it a refresh, see, you can compare the files. These are all the files present in my local, I mean in my folder, but only there are 2 files. Okay. Here's my web repository. You see, like there are only 2 documents, Aniket doc and web.html. You can see the code. Yeah. So it has only the files it has which we have committed. Now let's just commit all the files. Let's just commit all the files. What I'll do, I'll add all the files. Let's just check. Get status. all these files are untracked and uncommitted. They're not tracking it and they're not committing it. Git add all. See, when you put git add dot, all the files are staged and they start tracking. Git add, all the files have been added for tracking. Git commit message. All the remaining files. All the remaining files. All the remaining files have been committed. Now we can git push origin master. See, all the code have been pushed to your GitHub account. That is, your branch name is master. So you see, now we have only 2 files. Let's just refresh it. You see, now we have all the files. And like if you observe carefully, we can see the message we have put while committing a file. You can see like this was the last file which I did. All the remaining files, all the remaining files, all the remaining files. And when I created a HTML1 document, that was my second commit. So see, this was my second commit. So when I did Aniket document, you can see this was my third commit. And you can see if you click here, you can see all your commits. So you can basically track every file. Every commit. You can track every commit. You see, like you can track all the commits. I will show you one more code. That is git log. Git log. What git log does is it shows you all the commits. It shows you all the commits. Like this is your commit hash code. Every time you commit, and a hash code is created to your commit. This is your hash code, and you can see here. This is all the remaining files. This is your third commit. And like, all these are your commit messages. This is my second commit, and this is my first commit. And until then, like I'll write here all the git commands so that I can send you. Git init. Let's do first git status. Then we'll do git init. Then we'll do git add all the files. Then we'll do git commit. We'll write your commit message. You have to be very careful when you write your commit message, because if you are only using the GitHub, it is okay, you can write anything. But when you are showing your code to someone else, it would be, if you write a good commit message, then it would be good for him to understand like what the commit is about. And after committing, then you have to push your code. It is git push origin master. So like, these are the basic commands. I'll show you what all I wanted to tell. And see, yeah, this is for creating a new repository. Like create a new repository, add repository name, create the repository, then add remote git origin, git your account name, commit the files, and then push it to the server. Push the data to the remote to server. And then, yeah, like I told you till here. I won't tell you till here, but I guess only 24 people are here. Or if you want to like have any doubts, anything else, I'll clarify it. You can take a screenshot of the commands and show you like these are the basic commands. Like there are many things. There are branching, there's a fetch, there's clone, and there's log, there's git ignore. Like if there are many files and you want to ignore, and like you want to ignore some files, they can use git ignore.